Radio Recipe Show! Hi everyone, good day and welcome back to Radio Recipe Show! Ako ang inyong host, si Attorney Zulen, and right now, ang ganda ng topic natin at napaka-timely niya. Legalization of divorce in the Philippines. At syempre naman, kasama natin ang mga mahuhusay nating abogado at maalam sa topic na ito. Introduce yourselves, guys!
Hi, I'm Attorney Nikki.
Hi, I'm Attorney Gonzalo.
Hi, I'm Attorney Renz.
Right, last time, if you can remember, yung topic ata namin, kasama si Attorney Nikki at Attorney Gonzalo, isabong at saka online gambling.
Yeah.
Diba? And right now, it's another topic na sobrang relevant at timely ngayon. Kasi there is a pending divorce bill. Is it right now in the Senate or in the House?
It's with the Senate.
It's with the Senate already. Okay, so I guess let's begin this with a fast talk. So you get to know our lawyers. Yes or no? In favor of divorce in the Philippines?
Yes.
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 All right. So I guess we are all in favor of divorce ngayon sa Philippines. How about you, our dear viewers? If you're in favor of divorce or if you have any comments about it, feel free to write them in our comment section below. And your comment may get featured next time. So, I'm sure lahat kayo, you already know that ang Pilipinas ang huli or isa sa mga huling countries or state na hindi pa nag-legalize ng divorce maliban na sa Vatican City. What do you think is the reason about for this, Attorney Gonzalo?
Yeah, so the Philippines is actually has the third largest Catholic population in the world. So I believe our religious values, societal norms, play a very big role. Kaya wala pa tayong divorce law.
Attorney Nikki.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I think it's a cultural thing kasi, diba, parang very ingrained sa atin ng mga Filipinos na family-oriented tayo. And other than that, yung siguro meron ng religious considerations.
Tama naman. Pero, ikaw, Attorney Renz, ang daming tao na nagsasabi, usually ganito talaga yung argument nila pag tinatanong mo sila kung bakit ayaw nila ng divorce. Para sa kanila, ina-undermine ng divorce ang sanctity ng marriage. Do you agree with that?
Well, napaka-loaded kasi ng question na yun. Number one, sanctity of marriage. Yung the logic kasi behind a divorce is you're giving the husband and the wife a way out kapag hindi na nag-work yung marriage. So in that case kasi ano pa yung sanctity na protektahan mo kung hindi naman na harmonious yung relationship between the man and wife. Kaya nga under our laws, meron naman tayong nullity of marriage, meron tayong other grounds right now. Medyo restrictive siya. Pero for me, the mere existence of those grounds is a recognition na kahit may sanctity yung institution of marriage as the foundation of the family, no, basic unit of society, may recognition within our laws na at some point, given the human frailties na kung ano man yung reason, it will not work. So wala ka nang proprotektahan na sanctity kapag pumasok siya sa grounds mo. So in that case, siguro hindi naman siya nag-undermine. In fact, baka maging tool pa siya to protect the family. Kasi kung hindi na nag-work, pinipilit na lang ng husband and wife magsama, hindi na productive, baka maapektuhan naman yung next vital institution, which is the family.
So actually, may copy kami dito ngayon ng divorce bill. No? And under Section 5, yun nga yung sinasabi mo, ito yung mga grounds for absolute divorce. So, first, sa letter A, yung mga grounds ng legal separation under Article 55 of the Family Code. For example, dito mafo-fall yung physical violence or grossly abusive conduct, attempt of respondent to corrupt or induce the petitioner, to prostitution, mga ganyan. Basically, lahat ng nasa legal separation, pwede mo na rin siya maging grounds for divorce. So, I agree with you. Kasi, it's not naman na hindi recognize yung mga grounds na ito. It's actually already recognized by the family code, by the state, na pwede naman talaga maghiwalay yung mag-asawa, kaya nga legal separation, di ba? Gamit yung mga grounds na ito. Pero ngayon, pwede na silang magpakasal ulit dahil pwede na silang mag-avail ng divorce.
Yeah.
So, under Section 5A, yun yung grounds under legal separation. So if you proceed to Section 5B, meron namang grounds for annulment of marriage under Article 45 of the Family Code. Attorney Nikki, can you, pero I think modified siya, di ba? Attorney
Yeah,
Nikki?
parang based siya on the existing Article 45.
Yeah. Can you clarify on this? Can you help us understand?
Okay. First, no, meron tayo yung, the marriage can be annulled if, yung, married persons are 18 years of age or over, but below 21 pa. So, kasama na rin to do sa pwedeng, ground ng divorce.
Yeah.
So, yung if marriage was solemnized without the consent of the parents, guardian, or kung sino mang may parental authority over that person.
Okay, so same sa Section 5A. Meron din sa Section 5B na pwedeng gamitin yung grounds for annulment of marriage under Article 45 of the Family Code. So yun ngayon, di ba, yung pinag-uusapan natin. Yung mga grounds na present sa divorce, these are already grounds na inaalaw naman na talaga ng Philippine law natin para maghiwalay ang mag-asawa.
Yeah.
So, basically, nagdadagdagan tayo ng ways na sabi nila nga, more accessible, tsaka mas mura.
May
Para,
liberalization.
may liberalization lang siya. So, let's proceed sa letter C. I think ito yung medyo bago, no?
Yeah.
According sa letter C, pwedeng maging ground sa absolute divorce if yung mag-asawa separated na in fact for at least 5 years. So, Attorney Nikki, can you clarify this one?
Yeah, so if separated na sila in fact for 5 years and reconciliation is highly improbable. So, meaning siguro dapat kailangan pa rin mapakita na they tried to reconcile. Pero wala talaga. That can be a ground for divorce. And this is parang hindi pa existing at this time.
Parang bago siya.
Oo, bago siya.
Pero, do you agree with John? Kasi 5 years na rin silang hiwalay.
Well, yung objective kasi ng divorce bill, no, is to really address what happens in the grassroots. And again, I think all of us could attest here based on our consultations naman. Marami talaga under the present rules na hindi na talaga nagsama, they're not living as husband and wife anymore, pero walang sumasakto na grounds sa ating family code right now. So I think this is responsive doon sa reality na yon na talagang for many of our Filipino couples, because of lack of resources, lack of legal knowledge siguro, no, through no fault of their own, talagang nagsiseparate na lang in fact.
Right.
But I think the challenge here is, yun nga, yung sabi natin ni Nikki, they still have to prove na they tried to reconcile. Tas wala pa kasing, wala pang jurisprudence, ano yung ibig sabihin ng highly improbable.
Yeah. Tsaka yung letter D, it's also the same. It's provided na sa batas natin. Psychological incapacity as provided for in Article 36. Diba? Pero may isang napaka-importanting difference dito. In Article 36 of the Family Code of the Philippines, dapat patunayan na ang psychological incapacity ng asawa ay nag-exist na bago or during the wedding or the marriage ceremony.
Yeah.
Tama?
Exactly.
So, kung sa mga mas legal pa na term, it's called juridical antecedent. But I think, yung juridical antecedent na to, wala to, di ba?
Yeah, hindi na siya required kapag dito sa divorce bill.
So, kahit psychologically incapacitated ka, pero nag-occur ito after the marriage, okay lang.
Yes, counted pa rin.
Yeah, pwede ka pa rin mag-divorce. So, di naman siya redundant. Hindi naman siya. Okay, so, next, letter E. Ito, medyo controversial to, no? If yung isa sa mag-asawa nag-undergo ng sex reassignment surgery or nag-transition na siya from one sex to another, if mangyari yun, either spouse is entitled to petition for absolute divorce. Pero tandaan nyo, very important, undergoes sex reassignment surgery or transition. So even if you did not go through sex reassignment surgery, pero if nag-transition ka na from one sex to another, that can still be a ground. Attorney Gonzalo, what's your opinion on this?
Yeah, I think magandang step forward to para sa atin as a society. Kasi tingin ko nakikita ng lawmakers natin na very common na ngayon ang sex reassignment surgery or ang pag-transition from one sex to another. Nakikita nila sa ibang bansa na yun nga, may same-sex marriage. And I believe this provides a good foundation para maka-create ng law for same-sex marriage also.
Pero ang hirap ng definition.
Oo nga eh.
Yeah. Kasi sa law, merong iniba yung definition ng transgender and transsexual. Yung transgender, again, this is based on the law, refers to a person whose gender identity or expression differs from what is typically associated with the sex at birth. Iniba sa siya transsexual na refers to a person who emotionally and psychologically feels that one belongs to the opposite sex. So, based on this, baka hindi mo kailangang undergo ng surgery, right? So, ang question now for us lawyers, and I think yung effect sa ating Filipino marriages is, paano natin ma-prove na can I just wake up one day and say I identify as right? So, paano yung quantum of proof? Do I need to go to a psychologist, psychiatrist?
Or kailangan affidavit lang?
Or pwede ako lang, feel ko lang kasi I identify now as a woman or transgender. No? So, yun yung ambiguities that hopefully the Senate version will address or even the Supreme Court later on.
Right. Tama, I agree with that. Kasi, your sex, like for example, yun yung requirement ng batas for marriage. You should be male and female. That's quantifiable. You see that at birth. But then, transsexual or transgender, yun nga, may mga challenges siya na na-propose about that. So I guess, we hope that can be addressed or clarified as the bill is continuously being improved.
Yes.
Diba? But, or like you said, by the Supreme Court in the future. Actually, it's very curious eh. Ano lang ako ng konti by the way lang ako. Now that this is actually being put into law, proposed into law, do you think that this will open doors? Like, for example, transitioning or sex reassignment surgery can also maybe become a ground for change of name?
I don't think so.
Future?
Well, just in my interpretation, parang hindi naman siya necessarily magiging way for that to happen.
Yeah.
Kasi iba naman yung sa civil code natin, parang hindi naman necessarily nabibigyan ng ground yung change of name, change of sex. Kasi parang that relates to identity na. Ito naman is just ground for divorce and it relates to yung relationship ng spouses.
Yeah. Although I see, like I said, it's a controversial ground. You know.
Yeah. Kulang pa sa clarity at this point.
Kulang pa siya sa clarity. And if you really think about yung intention at saka essence niya, ang hirap naman kasi to stay married to a person that doesn't even identify. As example, kung asawa mo yun, lalaki, doesn't even identify as a male. Right? I mean, who's your husband there?
Yeah.
Kasi nga babae na siya. So, actually, the intention is there.
Yeah.
But I agree with everyone na it needs to be clarified a little bit.
I think also another thing to consider is yung, kasi yung transition naman from one sex to another, hindi naman siya, it doesn't happen in an instant.
Yeah.
So, at what point mag-a-apply yung ground to?
Na pwede na siya.
Pero, think attorneys, no? Baka pwedeng, baka pwedeng pag napasok into law, maybe we can, kung sino mang lawyer dyan, they can hinge their petitions before the Supreme Court regarding yung change of name.
Clarify.
Clarify kasi nga, pag na-legislate to, na-put into our legal lexicon yung mga terms ng pagiging transgender, transsexual, then, I don't know, baka pwedeng ground ng equal protection. Bakit kami recognize under divorce bill pero biglang kapag mag-change kami ng name, hindi. So, right, as it stands, I agree with Attorney Nikki, no? Na hindi kasi pwedeng by association porket sinabi sa divorce bill, gagawin na siyang ground for Rule 108, yung change of name. Pero, pwede na siyang maging petition Supreme Court. Diba sila, for equal protection siguro, I don't know.
Yeah.
So again, very weird.
Yeah, very weird actually.
Very weird by provision.
Oh, I mean like, so yun nga, yung ground D, even ngayon, even if wala pa siyang divorce, there's actually, grab yung misconception dito. Pag sinasabing psychological incapacity, yung first na iniisip ng mga tao is, pag psychologically incapable ka, baliw ka.
Yeah.
O, di ba? Or may ano ka sa pag-iisip, may problema ka sa pag-iisip. Pero, Attorney Gonzalo, what is psychologically incapacitated to be a spouse ba? Ano ba yung ibig sabihin na?
Well, to put it simply, hindi nila kayang gampanan yung mga obligasyon nila as husband and wife. Ano ba yung mga obligasyon ng husband and wife? To support each other, to love one another, to support their children. Hindi nila maintindihan kung bakit kailangan nila mag-comply sa mga ganun. Or you're physically incapacitated to comply with those obligations.
Yeah. And I think in a more recent jurisprudence or basically decision ng Supreme Court, nasabi ng Supreme Court na psychological incapacity, hindi ito medical.
Yes.
Yeah, hindi ito medical. Ito ay isang legal term. Psychologically incapacitated. At yun nga, yung sinabi ni Attorney Gonzalo, hindi mo magampanan yung responsibilities na ine-expect sa'yo or minamandate sa'yo ng batas as asawa or sa isang marriage. Kaya yun hindi
baliw.
hindi baliw.
Hindi delulu.
Yun. Okay, let's proceed. Letter F.
That's
Note to editor. Fast forward to letter F.
Reconcile.
Okay. So, another one na medyo controversial din na ground is letter F. Irreconcilable differences. Attorney Nikki, ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng irreconcilable differences?
Okay, sa batas natin, yung sa proposed na batas, yung irreconcilable differences, ito yung sinasabi na substantial incompatibility dahil sa behavior nung mag-asawa na nagiging divisive na.
Sakit nun, Incompatible.
So, parang nagkukos siya ng talagang, ang sinasabi, total breakdown ng marriage. So, parang wala nang pag-asa na maging okay sila. Oo. As
yung
mag-asawa.
sobrang separate talaga ng personalities nila.
Parang extreme naman na to na ground. Hindi naman siya yung bastang pagtatalo lang or wala lang ayaw nyo sa isa't isa. You still have to prove those instances na magiging, masasabi mong, yun nga, irreconcilable difference na wala na talagang kakaayos.
So attorneys, I don't know, do you think that resentment can fall under irreconcilable differences? Because sometimes, especially if mahaba na, ang laki talaga ng galit mo, ng resentment mo, ng hate mo sa partner mo, na hindi mo nga talaga siya kayang mahalin. Diba? Minsan nga parang nandidiri ka na sa kanya. Right? Pasensya na. Diba?
Hindi naman siguro yun.
Oo nga Hindi ko na-experience yun. Pero,
Just to clarify.
Hindi ko na-experience yun. Pero it happens.
Yeah.
And it's a reality. At saka syempre, narinig mo rin yun sa mga consult mo, di ba? Do you think, pwede ba yun as a justification for irreconcilable differences?
It can be a factor. Pero, I'm not sure if it's enough na yun lang. Baka kailangan pa rin ipakita yung instances paano nag-lead, ano yung nag-lead to that. Parang grabing resentment.
Yeah.
I have doubts lang na baka hindi siya enough.
Right, yeah. Pero minsan kasi yung mga ganyan, parang it can really dent a hole in there.
Or siguro dapat pakita mo yung effect ng resentment.
Yung effect niya. So for example, dahil matindi yung resentment, you don't respect each other. It's affecting the children also, di ba?
Pero siguro dapat depende ng type of resentment. I mean, I don't know, baka kasi resentment.
May type of resentment pala. Ano nga yun?
Enlighten us.
Ano nga yun? I like it.
Kasi based sa law, if we're gonna be technical about it, yung effect dapat ng incompatibility is, yun nga, kasi dapat diverging and divisive behavior. So, kumbaga magkasalungat. So, naisip ko lang, what if nire-reset mo yung partner mo? Kasi for example, hindi siya nagugas ng plato. Very simple very simple. Pero yung objective nyo pareho is gusto nyo malinis yung bahay pero nagde-differ lang kayo sa details. Sino ba magkuhugas?
It happens.
No? So, ibig sabihin, the way I interpret it, you want to reach the same goal, malinis na bahay. Nagde-differ lang kayo sa procedure, how to do it. So, baka pag ganun, hindi siya divisive.
Yeah.
Nagde-differ lang kayo sa details. Pero So, I think the court, maganda yung opening ng court dito to clarify things kasi marami yung avenue for creative lawyering for this. So I think depende. Pero I agree with that ni Nikki. Baka magka-problema sa evidentiary matters.
Yeah.
Parang resentment.
Right. At saka, I think the word itself, irreconcilable. It means that before kayo dumating sa point na ganyan, kailangan yung i-prove na you tried to reconcile.
Yeah.
Diba?
Tapos ang tingin ko naman ang main qualifier dito is resulting in the total breakdown of their marriage. So yun yung qualifier.
So, dapat pakita mo na breakdown na talaga yung
Hindi na nagkakaya.
unsalvageable.
Yung parang similar siya sa, I don't know, attorneys. Parang similar sa psychological incapacity. Kasi di ba psychological incapacity, kaya sabi natin ni Gonzalo, no, it has, nakatali dapat siya sa pag-fulfill mo ng marital rules. Dito, parang same, di ba?
Yeah.
Breakdown innocent.
Baka merong overlap.
Yeah. So, I think maganda yun, no, para covered lahat ng
Right.
instances.
Yeah. Kinausap ko yung mga kaibigan ko. At saka sabi nila, nung nabasa nila yung bill na to, yung letter F na to, yung irreconcilable difference na to, ito daw yung pinaka-open to exploitation and abuse of couples. What do you think about that?
Possible, pero it will come down to parang implementation. Kasi kapag hinarap mo na yan sa court, syempre, nandun pa rin yung necessity of presenting evidence and anong degree of proof yung kailangan mo ma-present to prove these grounds. And it will be up to the courts then to establish yung parameters and yung enough to satisfy yung grounds itong divorce bill.
Yeah, tama naman. Tama. At the end of the day, kukorte pa rin naman tayo.
Yeah.
So,
It is still subject, yun nga, sa discretion ng court.
Right.
Tapos kailangan, syempre, may ebidensya ka rin. May represent. So, tingin ko naman lahat ng grounds talaga.
pwede.
Syempre, prone to abuse
Yeah,
talaga.
definitely.
But again, discretion pa rin ng courts.
Yeah. Titingnan pa rin naman kung
Yes.
tama ba talaga yung sinasabi
You
niyo.
can allege all you want, pero doesn't mean na ma-approve agad.
Right. Agree.
Tsaka as lawyers tayo yung first line of defense.
Yeah.
Of course, sa consultation pa lang.
Mm.
Where as officers of the court, role na rin natin na i-arrest yung mga mali yan, sir, bawal yan. I think in terms of abuse, marami kasing layers Tayo, yung court,
Yeah.
yung rules of court,
Oo.
then of course, si Solgen, napasok pa, kalaban mo. Madami kasing layers pa.
At saka yung letter G, other forms of domestic or marital abuse. Ano yung mga other forms na to, attorney?
I think this also includes, emotional violence, economic, sexual, I think, is also included.
Yeah, definitely.
Yung mga grounds sa VAUC. No?
Oo.
Specifically.
Yeah. Oo. So, can you, for example, I think medyo bago siya na term, no? Economic abuse. Ano ba yung economic abuse? Attorney Rex.
Well, economic abuse na yung misconception dyan, hindi naman porket kulang yung binibigay automatically or hindi nagsusupport. Yung essence niya, if we're gonna look at Bausino, is to make the woman, in that case, sa Bausino, economically dependent sa partner niya.
Yeah.
Yun yung economic abuse na kino-contemplate under ng law. So, for example, binabawalan magtrabaho. Ganon. Or parang kinukuha yung remittance ng nanay ba or whatever. Basta maging dependent yung babae sa lalaki in that case. No? So, syempre, as applied sa divorce natin, hindi na lang babae yung pwedeng biktima nun, pwedeng lalaki.
Pwede na lalaki. So, yun din. It adds a layer of fairness to that. Yeah. At saka, meron pa isa, psychological abuse. Attorney Gonzalo, ano yung psychological abuse?
So, psychological abuse, ito yung parang systematic na pang-aabuso sa isang tao through the use of gaslighting,
Yun.
manipulation,
Yan. Manipulation.
jealousy, na nakaka-apekto sa psychological and emotional capacity ng tao.
Tama naman. Attorney Gonzalo, sample ng gaslighting.
Gaslighting.
Sample ng gaslighting.
Walang gaslighting. Walang gaslighting.
Di kita ginagaslight, sinasabi ko lang naman yung totoo. Yeah.
Yun.
Ay, naku.
Yes,
Marunong
Kaibigan lang
mag-gaslight.
naman siya.
Expert ah.
Ikaw yung gumagawa. Pinapalala mo yung situation, ikaw nagagawa ng big deal. In-explain ko na sa'yo na kaibigan lang siya.
O yan, dami mo example.
Marami sinabi na. Hindi ako example eh. Hindi mo bibigyan ako example.
Experience.
Sinasabi ko na work
May isa lang
siya.
to eh.
Hindi na
Parang hindi mo
ako
siya yung sinasabi.
Oo.
Parang practice, huwag mong i-remove to, ha? Hindi ka naman yan.
Nabilit na isa lang. Sabi mag-ibigay ng example. Bibigyan ako example.
Naman, expert si attorney na.
Ang dami.
So, ayun. Psychological abuse, economic abuse, yun yung mga sample ng mga, violence, yun yung mga example ng abuse na pwede nating i-allege para ground for absolute divorce. Alam nyo, attorneys, at saka sa mga viewers natin, meron akong ground dito na hindi nakikita, pero ito yung most commonly, I think, used ground sa USA, which is no-fault divorce. Or maybe sa iba, no-contest divorce. Ano yung opinion? Bakit kaya hindi na-include yung no-fault or no-contest divorce dito?
I think yun na yung, doon napapasok yung sinasabi mo kanina na baka it would be prone to abuse talaga. Kasi masyadong open
Right.
if yung no-fault divorce. At least dito yung irreconcilable
Yeah, you can
differences.
just agree that you'll
Yeah,
divorce.
yeah.
May
Parang
mutual
ganun siya.
understanding.
Ano nga tayo, di ba? Meron tayong procedure to prevent collusion ng parties.
Yeah.
I think even in this bill, kasama pa rin yung
Yeah.
provision na yun. So, hindi lang siya sa annulment.
Tama naman. But you know what, attorneys, I read somewhere. And parang profound naman siya. But I guess, meron aspect na we are still trying to protect the sanctity of our marriage. But yung malaking reason na may mga no contest or no fault divorce is that you can separate from each other without trying to destroy the dignity of each other. So you don't have to, diba? You don't have to allege na this is an abuser, like that.
Yeah.
O, ito yung mga ginawa niya na irreconcilable, na nag-break down yung marriage namin, parang ganyan. So you can separate.
Yeah.
Hindi kailangan ng
Makes sense.
biktima.
No, hindi kailangan ng biktima, hindi kailangan ng mali. Parang ganyan. So I guess it makes sense a little bit,
Yeah.
but I don't think that at this point, in line siya sa family code natin.
Yeah.
Unless you have other opinions about it.
Wala naman. I think yung culture din natin, doon nagkakaiba. Kasi kahit sa US, hindi lahat ng states may no-fault divorce.
Talaga?
Even sa US itself, may recognition na yung no-fault divorce may be incompatible to the social values ng isang community. So in this case, I think yung pananaw natin sa marriage, hindi pa nag-a-allow ng no-fault divorce. No? And I think on a lighter side, no? As Filipinos, no, we're fans of Trump. Kailangan may mablame. Kailangan may
Kailangan may kasalanan.
We need the tea.
Wala tayong face-to-face, di ba? Kung wala. So I think on the lighter side na lang yun. That's not real, guys. Actual reason. I think yung reason is yung cultural values natin. And of course, I think our legislators are also trying to be strategic. We're still, as Attorney Gonzalo said, we're still predominantly Catholic.
Yeah.
Kung maglalagay ka ng no-fault divorce, political suicide yun sa mga legislators na maboto. So I think
Cancel ba
Not
yun?
very
Cancel ba yun?
realistic.
Parang hindi, no? Political suicide.
It's not very realistic at this point. Hindi pa tayo ready for that.
Yeah, tama naman actually. I agree. At saka, yun nga I'm not saying that it's right, but I just see yung justification nila.
There's a point.
Oh, there's a point for it. Kasi, if you look at our grounds right now, parang magsa-separate kayo, pero hindi talaga kayo magiging on good terms.
Yeah.
Diba? Sa grounds natin. Right? But the no fault, no contest divorce, you can say, I'm sorry we didn't work out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Shake hands, and then,
Amicable.
amicable siya.
Parang kontrata.
ganyan.
Lalo na sa annulment of marriage natin based on psychological incapacity. Kailangan may isang spouse na psychological incapacity.
Tama. So, ang hirap
Hirap pa.
Hirap pa rin. Kasi, not only siguro na medyo mahirap siya kasi ang haba ng process eh. 'Di ba? Like, I'm not saying it's the divorce, but yung current law natin, ang haba ng process niya in order for you to dissolve your marriage. So, even legal separation, kasi diba may 6 months cooling off period pa, parang ganyan. Mahaba siya na process. And it's also a long time to harbor na hindi ka move on sa emotional torment mo na yan. Yeah. So, ayun. At saka, may isa pa, before we move on from the grounds of divorce, may isa dito na I think very important. Yung grant of absolute divorce based on domestic or marital abuse or violation ng Anti-Vowsy Against Women and Their Children Act shall be without prejudice to the prosecution of the offending or errant spouse under the said act. Ano ibig sabihin nito?
So, kahit mag-divorce kayo, hindi yun bar, hindi yun prohibition, nakasuhan pa rin yung partner mo. Ibig sabihin, kapag for example, if babae ka, ikaw yung nag-petition ng divorce, na-approve yung divorce decree, and then gusto mo pa rin kasuhan ng vowsy, yung partner, pwede pa rin siya.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it also parang, yun nga, sabi ko, I admire yung proposal na to in certain ways. Kasi nakikita mo talaga na it addresses yung ibang problema ng mag-asawa. Like, for example, mayroon akong consultation. Sobrang torn siya. Kasi, gusto niya mag-separate sa asawa niya. Pero yung reason niya is, yung reason niya is, nag-cheat yung asawa niya sa kanya. Adultery, for example. Pero ayaw na rin naman makulong yung asawa niya.
Yeah.
Right? So, parang ganyan. Oo. So, basically, I think that is very important. Because, iba yung divorce proceeding.
Yeah.
At saka iba rin kung
Vowsy.
yung vowsy proceeding na crime itself.
It's actually good kasi na-expand yung options.
Tama. Alright. So, yun po yung mga grounds natin for absolute divorce. Sana po naintindihan nyo at sana po nakita nyo kung ano yung pinagkakaiba niya kasi marami naman talaga tayong batas right now that addresses the dissolution or separation sa isang marriage. So, ito po yung pinagkakaiba niya. Another question that I get asked all the time, attorneys, is that a lot of people are lobbying for divorce kasi they believe that divorce will be speedier, it will be faster, and it will be less expensive. How true is this?
Well, that's the goal. To be able to make divorce more accessible.
Yeah.
Kasi ang impression talaga sa annulment, reality is it's expensive. It's a long time. Yeah. Oo. So, kapag sa divorce, hopefully, no, yung, depende pa to kasi proposed law pa lang naman siya. Pero the goal is to make it faster, no? And accessible. And also, meron din kasing provision here ng summary judicial proceedings na. So, merong certain grounds na pwedeng maging applicable yon. So, that will make it even faster and easier for yung spouses na gusto nga mag-avail ng divorce.
Yeah. Saka in the interim, yung divorce bill natin, merong provision dito na hindi na entitled na mag-live separately yung mag-asawa. Hindi na kailangan maghintay ng judgment on the divorce petition. Pwede upon filing, entitled na sila mag-live separately. I think it's crucial kasi yun nga, no, lalo na for cases of marital abuse, you really need to get out of the house.
Right.
Save yourself, no. In this case, naka-fast track siya, hindi mo kailangan maghintay ng judgment. Tapos, yun, may other provisions pa, which I think we'll discuss later, in divorce, napadali na rin. Hindi mo na kailangan idaan sa court natin yun, na valid na doon. Kung doon
yung
recognition ng divorce.
Oh, yeah. Parang, meron kasi ngayon, di ba, yung recognition ng foreign divorce. Meron na tayo, pero ito ang nadagdag niya, kahit na Filipino yung mag-file, parang clarify niya na pwede pa rin ma-recognize here.
Yes. Tapos sabi sa divorce bill, yung foreign divorce decree just has to be certified by the Philippine consul or an equivalent authority abroad.
So you don't have to prove it on your own.
Yes, sa current rules kasi natin, divorce decree abroad, then you're gonna file a petition for the court.
Yeah.
You're gonna prove the existence of the foreign law. Yung
daming process pa.
Dito, konti na yung hawak mo certified tapos magiging valid na.
Yeah.
Regarding the price, depende na sa lawyer.
So, okay nga. So, may truth naman talaga na mapapadali yung At saka that's section 6, by the way.
Yeah.
Yun yung section 6. Yung section 7 din, sobrang interesting nito.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Yung
very
section 7, title niya is Valid Canonical or Church Dissolution. So, a marriage, sabi sa section 7, which is nullified or dissolved by the proper matrimonial tribunal of the Roman Catholic Church or any other recognized religious sect or denomination, shall be granted civil recognition as if a divorce had been granted. Ayun.
So to make it short,
Mm.
hindi na need ng court.
Hindi na need ng court.
Pero parang that raises concerns
Yeah.
na
Yeah.
naman ng
Oo nga.
ano.
Dito yung medyo prone to abuse.
Estrada versus Escritor, wherein na si nag-separate na sila ng asawa niya. At saka, by blessing ng church, nagsama na siya kasama nung ibang, another partner. Tsaka inaled siya ng gross immorality. Pero yung sabi ng Supreme Court is hindi daw ito gross immorality because sumusunod lang siya sa practice ng church nila. Protected ng constitutional right natin yung pag-exercise ng religious freedom. So, hindi daw siya gross immorality. So, I think, eto yung niya, yung parang inspiration or manifestation niya.
In line with this na.
Pero prone to abuse, sabi natin ni Gonzalo.
Mm-mm.
Kasi any recognized religious sect. So I mean,
Yeah.
of course, depending sa religious sect, iba-iba ng standard dyan, iba-iba ng ano. And then, how do we operationalize the definition ng recognized religious
Yeah.
sect? Pwede ba? Simbahan ni Attorney Renz. Pwede ba? I mean, we don't know. Sasabihin ko, okay, mag-member kayo sa akin, madali yung divorce.
Gusto ko doon.
Pero diba, simbahan?
Gusto ko
Baka pwedeng ganun na simbahan ni Attorney Renz kung saan mabilis mag-divorce. So,
Yeah.
I mean, walang operational definition. Basta recognize ka na sect or denomination.
At saka yung trust mo dito, hindi na actually sa court, it's actually sa proper
Yes.
authorities of the church.
It gives them too much power.
Pero mahirap. May experience ako sa Roman Catholic Church yung tribunal nila. Because as an opinion, meron si Father Dacanay dyan. I think nagsisit in siya as I don't know, do you call them judge ba? I don't know. May times na mas strict ang Roman Catholic Church tribunal. So, siguro sa Roman, yes, may times. Kasi syempre, theological sa kanila.
Oh.
So, baka maging strict siya. Pero again, yung recognized religious sect, yun yung
And sino nag-recognize?
yun din.
Yun din.
Organization.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tsaka yung gagawin mo lang after na nila na-recognize ito,
Register lang.
ipa-file mo lang siya, register mo lang siya sa Civil Registry Office. So, sobrang simple niya. It's actually faster than applying the grounds. Right? Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends. It depends and we can't say kasi it depends rin sa simbahan. At saka I was expecting here na may clarification siya na sana na if yung simbahan na yan yung nagkasala sa'yo, sila rin yung may power to grant divorce there. Because I believe they have their own set of grounds also. Kasi, I don't think din na yung simbahan na to, they'll just grant you divorce. I think that they will also have their procedure at saka also their grounds, which actually even may be stricter.
Tama sa amin ni Attorney Lane, no? Kasi, I mean, under the family code, di ba? Isa sa solemnizing officers na allowed to solemnize a marriage is yung head ng religious denomination kung saan member ang at least isa sa spouses. Hindi pwede na Katoliko ka tapos magpapasolemnize ka sa Muslim. No, in this case, hindi nagmi-mirror yung provision na yun sa Section 7 ng divorce bill. So tama sa Attorney Lane, pwedeng abuse yun. Pwedeng nagpakasal ka as Catholic, pero since mahigpit yung Catholic, nag-convert kayong dalawa, yes, as let's say, Protestant ba, or other thing. That's not the kumuha ng divorce. I think yun, possible loophole.
Yeah. So I think, maybe it's an element for improvement.
Yes.
As we continue to improve and harmonize this bill, diba?
I appreciate the purpose, pero kulang pa.
Yeah,
Hindi siya masyadong
definitely.
in line with the rest of the
Oo. Yeah, medyo nangangamoy landmark case din to eh.
Oo.
Pwede. Oo nga eh. So, yun ang mga grounds and other ways to obtain a divorce. So, ito na. Ito na yung mga question na importante to the lawyers. Especially kasi lawyers yung magiging, I guess, hand in hand to work with their clients.
Yeah.
Sa case na to.
Mhm.
Attorney Renz, what impact does divorce have on children?
Divorceable. So,
Yeah.
I think, yun yung, I mean, as lawyers, yun yung mahirap in our profession.
Mhm.
Kasi, of course, yung lalapit sa atin are the parents.
Right,
Yung
yeah.
gusto mag-divorce, no? And sure, there are provisions sa civil code natin kung ano yung effect, magiging legitimate, illegitimate. But yung practical effects kasi nun is, of course, as lawyers, we rarely get to hear the side of the children.
Yeah.
Kasi hindi naman sila nagko-consult yung
Yeah.
magulang.
Right.
So, yung impact nun, yun yung mahirap pa, for me at least, mahirap pa i-quantify.
Mhm.
Kasi yun
Because we can't deny na walang impact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We cannot deny. It's
Meron
not their
talaga siya.
fault. It's
Mhm.
never their fault.
Yes.
But, nag-impact talaga.
Ano yun, undeniable.
Undeniable.
Inevitable fact yun of
Yeah.
marriage na talagang may effect. Pero kung effect, positive or
Inherent risk
negative,
yun ng divorce eh.
Yeah.
Ng separation, actually. Separation in general.
pero mahirap i-quantify, di ba?
Mhm.
Kasi
Tama.
for example, kung marital abuse yung ground,
Mhm.
then definitely the divorce may be
More
a way
beneficial.
to
Yeah.
yes, magiging beneficial sa anak mo. Pero for example, as what we have pointed out so far, paano kung in-abuse yung ground? Na talagang, for example, yun nga, sa religious sect,
Mm.
na pumasok sila sa isang loophole ng batas. So in that
Right.
case, wala naman talagang ground where nag-divorce sila. So baka ganun maging negative yun kasi of course, you're gonna see your parents separate.
Mm.
I think mahirap pa, and I think to that point, maybe our legislators would like to include safeguards for the children.
Right.
Meron bang, I think, ma-empower ba ang DSWD?
Ako, agree ako dyan.
Diba?
Mm.
Kasi mahirap pa i-quantify eh. It could be bad, it could be good. But, to Attorney Lane's point, whether good or bad, undeniable, meron talagang impact sa bata
Right.
yung magiging divorce.
Yeah. Another question. Ang Divorce Act na ipapasa, if ever, do you think this is a progressive step forward for women's rights?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I would say yes. Pero not just for women.
Yeah.
Parang ano nga ta, a step towards equality.
Yeah,
Oo.
exactly.
Kasi it's not just, ang dami kasi nagrereklamo, di ba, sa VAWSI na bakit,
Walang
oo, parang
Tama,
directed towards
right.
women lang.
Right.
So here, parang mas equal nga yung provisions and yung other grounds of VAWSI that cannot be applied in favor of men, no? Dito, applicable na siya for both, for both parties. Although it's not the same, it's not a criminal action. Pero at the same time, parang merong way to address those same grounds.
Yeah. Actually, ako agree ako kay Atty. Nikki. I would not say that Divorce Act is for women or a progressive step forward women's rights. I think it's a progressive step for equality.
Yeah.
Kasi, actually, we cannot deny that at this point, there are actually more rules protecting women. The reason lang, I guess for me, ako in my consultation experience, nakikita ko is that a lot of women are not really aware of their rights. And at the same time, ang hirap din kasi ayaw mo rin naman talagang ipakulong minsan yung asawa mo, diba? Like that. But they do have the power to do that. So I feel like the Divorce Act is a progressive step for equality talaga. Not just for women. Attorney Gonzalo, ito. It's a question that I think para talaga sa legislators and I guess to the courts as well. Kasi alam naman nating lahat na yung Divorce Act na to is para maging easier, faster, yung pag-obtain ng separation and dissolution of marriage sa isang marriage na nag-breakdown na talaga, right?
Yeah.
So, my question is, should the divorce laws be stricter or more lenient in terms of grounds and procedures? Kailangan ba masyadong strict yung pag-i-interpret or apply natin ng grounds? Or kailangan natin maging lenient?
I think dapat mas lenient siya more lenient siya sa current grounds natin for annulment or legal separation. Pero it should be stricter para not necessarily kung gusto mo lang magpa-divorce, makakuha agad. Again, maraming grounds na provide. Yun nga isa na pag-usapan natin sa Section 7 or yung valid canonical or church dissolution. Kailangan may mga specific phrases na ma-clarify ng lawmakers natin tulad ng or any other recognized religious sect or denomination. Yeah, so again, balance is key talaga.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ikaw, attorney. If you had to choose, okay, I think we all agree na balance. But if you had to choose, would you prefer na more lenient or more stricter yung pag-apply ng Divorce Act?
For me kasi, if I were to choose one, for me it should be more lenient. Why? The divorce bill is designed to address realities on the ground. And more often than not, these realities have actual implications sa life, liberty, and property ng mga may asawa. For example, binubugbog ka. That's your life at risk there. So, when we look at the overall policy, kung magiging lenient ka, magagrant ka ng divorce, na isang black eye lang, at least you save that life. If you were overtly strict, you're gonna lose that life. You're gonna lose the liberty of that wife, no? Or the husband, yung property rin. Wala kasi for me, walang remedy kapag sobrang strict. Kapag sobrang lenient naman, tapos na-abuse yun, may remedy naman. Kung nagsinungaling sila, falsification, perjury. Kung may collusion, may penalty sa divorce bill ng collusion. So I think yung risks mo, when you make it overtly strict, is not worth the benefits. Mas worth it kung mas lenient. Kasi again, these pertain to the life, liberty, and property ng wife and husband. So mas immediate yung risk kung ganun yung point of view natin.
Ako, attorney, yung opinion ko dapat stricter. Oo. Kasi I feel like nakikita natin, ginawa na talagang lenient yung mga grounds that are already readily available. So, in order to prevent from abuse, dapat maging strict. But towards your point, I do agree na parang it's your life, liberty. But I think kasi, and I really believe that it's not, the divorce is just the manifestation when you're already empowered. Because first and foremost, in order for you to actually walk away from a abusive relationship, kasi naming consideration, battered woman syndrome, like that. But the first thing to do is that kahit walang divorce right now, kasi it feels like the divorce is the solution for everything, but it's actually not. I think for me, it's empowerment talaga. If you are being abused, like if you're watching this and you're being abused, you really need to step forward and leave.
Yeah.
That's the first step, eh. And once you leave, you file for divorce.
Yeah.
So, kasi parang, hindi sila mutually exclusive. Right?
And again, yun yung nice thing about this, no? We have differing opinions. So there's really huge room for improvement sa and yun yung
harmonization.
Yun yung maganda living in a democratic society. May inputs lahat. Attorney Gonzalo's input sa akin, Attorney Lake,
And both have points, actually. Nakikita ko talaga yung point niya. Kasi this law is made to dissolve the marriage. It's not working already. So why make it harder? Diba? I see his point. Yeah.
Pero curious ako, paano ng viewers natin? Stricter ba? Or balance? Balance.
Yeah. So, if you have your opinion, please comment them down below because we'd love to hear from you. Okay, eto na naman. Eto just a little bit more controversial. Sino dito yung Catholic? Roman Catholic, actually. Okay, so medyo may controversial question din ako.
Okay.
Sino dito yung Roman Catholic?
Ako.
Attorney Nikki?
Yes.
Are you Roman Catholic?
Born again.
Born again. I'm Baptist.
Muslim.
Okay. So we're well represented.
Halo-halo.
Diverse tayo.
Ingredients, halo-halo tayo lahat.
Yes, definitely. Ang ganda na natin. We're so diverse. Kaya pala, yung opinions natin.
Iba-iba rin.
Iba-iba rin. Right. Okay. But
FGD.
Oo nga. No, I think I was talking to you kanina, attorney. Yung sinabi mo sa akin about like Roman Catholic. I think third tayo in the world, diba?
Yeah.
Largest population. Guys, Philippines, third largest population of Roman Catholics in the world. Just third to
Brazil ang pinakauna, from top of my head, tapos Mexico. So first, Brazil, second, Mexico, third tayo.
Yeah. So, and I think, I think that you guys agree with me also that the Roman Catholic Church, their stance on this also plays a vital role. Right?
Siyempre.
Yeah. Okay. So, my question is, how do you think their stance on this Divorce Act influence public opinion and policy making?
Yung public opinion, medyo madaling i-quantify. Because again, in terms of the sheer magnitude of the Catholics in the country,
May clamor pa rin. May clamor pa rin yung
clamor pa rin.
divorce.
Pero still,
Oo.
malaki yung opposition possible from the Catholic Church. So yun yung public opinion. Ang dali marami silang radio programs. Every Sunday may mass. So in terms of social engineering, in terms of influence, malaki yung influences ng public opinion. Yung policy making yung mahirap i-quantify. Why do I say this? Number one, we can't deny, hindi naman na tayo bata, no? Na our lawmakers are also politicians.
Yes.
Yung House of Representatives, they're up for election every 3 years. Senators, every 6 years. So, in terms of policy making, siguro yung effect ng Catholic Church as a huge voter base, depende yan kung kailan ka magle-legislate ng batas. For example, in this case, 2025, yung possible midterm elections. I mean, hindi possible. Yung midterm elections sa atin, 2025. If our legislators will discuss this sa election year, duda ako mag-prosper siya because of the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Right? Because takot sila. That's mahirap yun i-release mo yung political career mo. Pero for example, 2026 siya ma-deliberate. May fresh mandate ang ating representatives. Fresh mandate ang 12 out of 24 senators. So I think doon mas laki yung chance na hindi ganun kalaking influence ng Roman Catholic Church. So again, it's difficult to quantify this, and of course, ito na yung the ugly side of the divorce bill. It's not only a bill to respond to grassroots issues, it's also a political bill.
Nako.
So political bill. Kasi ang bango sa pangalan Sino yung author ng divorce bill? Ako. Galing, bango.
Yeah.
Pero dun sa isang specific na demographic.
Yes, hindi mabango.
And that's a large demographic.
Yes. So, depende siya.
Really
But I think pwede natin gawing metric yung nangyari sa RH law na ngayon. May heavy opposition ng ating Catholic Church, pero in an event na minsan lang nangyayari, may political will yung ating leaders, right? So, napasa nila. Again, mahirap i-quantify ito.
Yeah.
Pero may effect siya. Malaking effect niya.
Yeah. At saka, alam mo, this comes into mind. With the divorce bill right now, I think ako, personally, I don't know, please correct me if I'm wrong, mag-a-advise talaga ako, especially, like, if a woman comes to me, mag-a-advise talaga ako na since there's a divorce, if there will be a divorce act already, get your own money. As in, kasi ngayon, I get the comfortability na maging housewife, because marriage is viewed in this, unless it's like inherently like void from the very beginning, it's viewed to last forever. So it means that when one person is working, you get half of that all the time, right? But okay, during the divorce, maybe you'll get half pa rin because it's community property regime or conjugal property pa rin. But what happens after, right? Kasi if you became a housewife for like 10 years, you focus on child rearing like that. Tapos, your husband now can file a divorce against you. For example, ang hirap kasi to start, because you'll be starting from scratch talaga. I mean, like, imagine that's 10 years worth of experience of your job. You could have probably been a managerial, supervisory position. Matas na yung sweldo mo. But right now, you're gonna enter, ano pa rin, without any experience, or if may experience ka, it was your experience when you stopped 10 years ago. So, magba-back to zero ka pa rin. And you have your age also na might be, diba? Something that would go against you.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so I mean, as a lawyer, yun yung masasuggest
that's something
ko.
to consider.
Yeah. What about you, attorney? Anong masasuggest mo right now if this divorce act gets passed?
I just want to comment first on what you said. No?
Yeah.
I agree naman na, empowerment nga eh.
Yeah,
They should have their own money and it would be more practical. Pero just to emphasize, no, meron ding provision dito sa bill about meron pa ring sustento up to 3 years.
So pwede pa rin.
If yung offended spouse walang employment, walang source of income, or if meron pang pwedeng, may alimony. Meron pang, pwede siyang ma-extend up to a reasonable period if, let's say, person with disability, yung offended spouse, or yung age niya, senior citizen na, something, meron ganong provisions naman for just to protect yung yung spouses.
Pero what if,
offended
Attorney
spouse.
Nikki, what if irreconcilable difference, for example? Is there still an offended spouse for irreconcilable differences?
Hindi siya clear
Diba?
sa law. Oo. Although, if ma-establish yung ganong parameters, ayun nga, merong provided na protection at least. Although, right now, I think it's one of the things na we have to clarify first.
Yeah, definitely. Ako, ladies, don't get me wrong. I am pro, taking care of your family.
Yeah.
But it's also, I can't sit here and be of good intentions and say that it's not something that I would advise if mapapass yung divorce act. Yeah. Okay, so that's my advice now, ladies. I'm not saying na focusing on child rearing or housewife is wrong. Actually, no, it's not. I admire you have the hardest job. I really salute that. But I also will not sit here and lie that it's not going to be an advice of mine as a consequence if the Divorce Act gets passed.
Yes.
Or if, at least ensure your income and how you will continue in case that it leads to that.
Yes, go get that bread.
Get that back.
Get that bag, girl.
Attorney Gonzalo, ikaw, what's your advice? It can be general or specific in relation to the Divorce Act.
Consider divorce as a last resort talaga. Hindi naman porket na-pass yung law, divorce law rather, i-apply mo na agad or mag-a-apply ka for that law. Hindi porket nagkaaway lang kayo, irreconcilable differences na agad.
Agree.
Firstly, consider counseling or mediation. Explore mo lahat ng options to fix your marriage. Kasi sa marriage, pag nag-consider ka ng divorce, hindi naman yung spouse lang ang maapektuhan. Lalo na yung children, yung relatives. So again, it's a big decision and kailangan talaga pag-isipan muna.
Yeah.
Tsaka ang kasi, ang hirap mag-speak about divorce kasi every case is so different. There are cases talaga na parang kailangan mo talaga silang sabihan na, wait lang.
Walang ground.
Pag-isipan mo to, okay? Di porket ayaw mo lang na nag-hilik siya. Divorce na. Irreconcilable difference
Specific
na.
na attorney. Story ako.
Diba? Tapos meron naman, di ba? Yun talaga. Magandang advice sa kanila na pag-isipan mo muna kasi last resort. Kasi sacred pa rin yung marriage. Pero attorneys, meron naman talaga na, naku, bakit ngayon ka lang? Diba? Sinasaktan ka na pala. Parang ganyan. Ano pa nangyari sa'yo? Ang hirap to give a one-size-fits-all because it's really not.
Yeah.
Right? Diba? Okay, attorney Renz.
Advice. I think, advice pa. Paano ba malaitan yung mood? Kasi mabigat yung divorce.
Mabigat. So,
may naalala akong joke dati na, alam niyo ba ito yung number one cause ng divorce sa buong mundo?
ano?
Number one cause.
Ano?
Marriages.
Okay.
Diba, walang mag-divorce kung walang magpapakasal. Medyo sabuging joke, but please bear with me. That joke. Tito joke. Pero I mean, it speaks to a certain truth na bago tayo magpakasal, siguraduhin natin na both ourselves and our partners are ready for the responsibilities of marriage. And later on, kung maging parents, of parenthood. Kasi
That's
nga naman,
deep, bro. That's deep.
kasi baka yung maging mindset, kasi I fear, as not only as a lawyer, but as a Filipino rin, baka magkaroon ng shift sa ating mindset, sa ating culture, na relationships become transactional. Hindi na kita trip, hindi mo na ako trip.
And there's always
Kasi may divorce
a way
Yeah, may
out.
divorce
Tama.
naman.
Okay lang yun. There's a way
Yeah.
out anyway.
So baka
Parang
maging
ganyan.
lenient sila doon pa lang sa marriage part. Which ang mangyayari lang nun, babahalang ng kaso for divorce. So I think what I would like our viewers and our fellow countrymen to I think espouse yung value is sa simula pa lang, siguraduhin na natin na talagang fit tayo for marriage.
Right.
Huwag tayo mag-rely na may annulment naman, may irreconcilable differences naman. Diba? May simbahan naman ni Attorney Renz. Pwede tayo magpa-divorce dyan eh. So I think, yun muna. Just make sure that both of you guys are fit before you engage in marriage, before you become parents. And then, talagang, sabi natin ni Gonzalo, last resort na si divorce.
Right.
Talagang leave it. Kung talagang hindi na kaya, nag-try na kayo ng counseling, no? And talagang sinigurado nyo naman na pagpapakasal nyo pa lang, fit naman kayo, mahal nyo naman isa't isa. I think dapat last resort siya. Ayoko magkaroon ng shift. Talagang, may divorce na, tigi. Ano na lang tayo? Pakasal na tayo bukas. Parang ganun, di ba?
Tapos divorce tayo next week.
Tapos divorce next week, di ba? Sabi pa nga ng ibang viewers natin, no, dapat may expiry date na yung marriage. So, ayoko lang maging ganun yung, ayoko mag-shift.
Pwede
Yes.
mong i-renew after.
Parang lisensya. So, ayoko mag-shift sa maging transactional yung ating pananaw sa marriage and family. So, I think yun yung advice.
Dapat yung parang yung sanctity niya should still be the same.
Yeah, I agree.
Talagang dapat way out siya. Kumbaga sa building, pupunta ka lang sa fire exit kapag nasusunog na yung building.
Tama naman.
Huwag naman pupunta ka doon, may elevator naman or what, di ba?
Pero tawag kayo sa fire.
Penta ba yun? Iba na yan.
Tambay-tambay lang dun. Attorney Nikki,
Yeah.
what about you?
Okay, I agree din naman no, na it should be the last option na talaga. Kasi we still want to protect the sanctity of marriage. Pero as with everything naman, I think this applies in general, no? Keep yourself informed. Kailangan, before you enter into anything, contractual man yan, transactional relationship, or eto nga, marriage, which is not transactional, dapat alam mo yung rights mo. Alam mo kung ano yung pinapasukan mo, and alamin mo yung options mo. Yeah. Whatever happens.
And your responsibility also.
Yeah.
Tama. Actually. Grabe, it's, ang hirap. Is anyone of you here married?
No.
No.
Merong isa dito.
No. Ako, I'm married. I'm married.
Attorney
Oo. Oo. Thank you.
Or eventually, I think, eventually we all intend to.
Yeah.
Very helpful din for
Yeah. Parang nag-resonate ako sa sinabi mo na parang dapat pag-isipan mo before you entered marriage. Kasi I don't know if that will change eh. Because right now, I entered marriage without the idea that there will be divorce. So parang before I said I do, or before I even said yes to the proposal, at tagal naming pinag-usapan to. Like 3 years. Like parang, ikaw na ba talaga? Tayo na ba talaga? Parang ganyan. Kailangan na gusto mo. Parang ganyan.
Right?
Ikaw na ba si Mr. Right? Diba? Parang sobrang pagpaplano namin.
Yeah.
To see that is this really a fit. Ang dami pa namin ginawa na test na like for example going into this parang there is this ano bang tawag mo? Parang retreat siya in a way to see if your partner really is for you. Then they ask these questions, and even our church did that to us. They ask us the really really difficult questions.
That's good.
Oh, na
That's
parang
good.
and then, oo nga, di natin napag-usapan to, no? How are we gonna do this?
That's
and
smart.
see that you're really compatible. Diba? That you can reconcile your differences. But that's because, and I think a big portion, I'm gonna lie if I won't say that, but a big portion is because we think of it as forever.
Yeah.
Right? There's no way out, or ang hirap ng way out.
Yeah,
Right?
yun
Parang
sana.
ganyan.
Yes.
Oo. So, I don't know, I really hope that mindset does not change.
Sana.
Like to your point.
Sana.
Kasi if marriage becomes na parang, oh, I love you, I like you, I'm falling in love with you. Like,
Pakasal
it's
na
a
sila.
beautiful night. It's like, I wanna marry you. Parang ganyan. Ang hirap din. Ano din?
Yeah, mahirap din. Para siyang whirlwind romance.
Right.
Mahirap din na ganun siya.
Tama.
So yeah, dapat i-check muna.
Mm.
Dapat humingi kayo ng requirements, guys. NBI clearance, RPC.
Manigurado.
Yeah, para lang sure, di ba? So,
Diba? May medical pa yun. Papa-medical mo pa yan.
medical,
Pamilya na pa
plans. Di ba?
Good moral,
Good moral.
Ako, guys.
Come up with your own requirements.
Right.
Form 137. Dapat guys, daig nyo yung mga employers natin.
Yeah.
Diba? Hindi lang pwede read and write.
Pero yung totoo, guys, like, yung pinakamahirap na conversation na kailangan namin i-harmonize ng husband ko before kayo magpakasal is, yung temperature ng aircon. Totoo talaga yun.
Akala ko seryoso.
Seryoso yun.
Napakalalim nung
Seryoso yun. Nagtanong kami, ilang anak yung gusto mo? Bilis namin na identify. Yung expenses natin sa household, mabilis namin na identify. Pero yung aircon, ang hirap.
Ang gandang
Ang hirap.
statement. Kasi pwedeng gawing doctrine ng Supreme Court yun. The aircon temperature doctrine, yun yung measurement ng irreconcilable difference. Pwede, di ba?
Part na pala.
Diba? Kasi hindi kayo makakatulog kung gusto ng isa 24, isa 18.
Tama.
Oo.
Ako, gusto
Ang
niya.
layo nun
Ang layo
Totoo
nun.
yun. Kasi siya gusto niya 16. Ako 26.
Ay,
Ayaw.
agree.
Hindi naman.
Kaya
Nag-aircon ka pa.
Parang Baguio tsaka Manila. Wala yun.
Malamig yung 26, ha?
Mainit ang
Saan yung fan speed? Ano yung fan speed?
Wala. Wala kaming electric fan. Yung fan speed.
Fan speed ng aircon,
Ayun. Siyempre ako lowest. Kasi lamigin ako eh.
26 tas lowest?
Oo.
Kapag nag-aircon.
So siya.
Bakit ba nakatira?
Feeling ko nga kung may 14 pa sa aircon namin, mag-14 pa yan eh.
Oh my God.
Parang natulog ka tayo. Parang,
Ang tagal namin pinag-usapan yun. So I don't know. Like parang, yun, there are trivial fun things, but there are also serious things.
yes. Trivial lang siya para until you experience it.
Yeah.
That's actually
Kasi hindi,
Mm.
I never saw that as an issue. Aircon.
Yeah.
Eh,
Totoo yun.
totoo
Promise.
pala yun.
Promise. Totoo
Pwede
yun.
ba? Irreconcilable ba yung 16 degrees tsaka 26 degrees?
At saka hindi lang yun sa room, pati sa sasakyan. Yun. Kasi,
All around.
Oo.
Tingin ko
Ang
pwede
laking
irreconcilable
issue siya.
difference. Kasi nagsasayang ka lang ng kuryente kung 26 eh. 26? Nag-aircon ka pa.
Attorney, sorry. Wala kang kakampi.
Oo nga eh. Nako, grabe talaga kayo.
Magpaypay ka ng attorney kung
Hindi mo tatanungin paano namin na-reconcile.
Paano?
ibang aircon?
Hindi.
Ano?
May timer. Oo. Pag nakatulog na ako, yun, pwede na nang babaan. Ayun. At least hindi ko na mararamdaman.
May solution.
May solution.
Yes.
Hindi irreconcilable.
Give and take.
It's a case mo.
Okay, so last question, attorneys. How does the legalization of divorce reflect our changing societal norms and values sa Pilipinas? Is it reflective ba?
Yeah. Kagaya nang na-mention natin before, no? It's a step forward.
Yeah.
Parang parang it's a way to progress
Yeah.
na rin, no? Yung legal landscape natin. And ito yung naging reflection na nung societal norms. Mas naging aware tayo, mas naging open tayo to the realities talaga of marriage.
Yeah.
I think kung mapasaman to, yun yung message, no? I think one of the message na may impart yung ina-acknowledge na natin.
Yeah.
Yung nagiging effects talaga ng marriage. Hindi naman yung reality na hindi lahat talaga nag-work, naglalast, and merong factors to consider na other than yung existing annulment and legal separation grounds. No? Merong ibang factors pa na pwedeng napag-iwanan and we have to integrate din sa laws natin.
Yeah. Attorney.
Definitely, as I've mentioned earlier, nakikita ng lawmakers natin na we are moving towards a more progressive society. Na-recognize na nila yung rights natin na, of course, the right to enter marriage, kailangan may right rin to dissolve that marriage specifically. So, society is more open to the idea that sa pagstay ng harmful marriage is not the only option. May option na tayo ngayon for divorce. This does not only show na progressive tayo, but we are also compassionate.
I like that.
It's true.
I agree. No? And
Yeah.
again, siguro,
Kasi, sorry
Yeah,
to
go ahead.
interrupt. I really like yung sinabi ni attorney. Kasi,
It's so easy to view marriage. No, once you entered it, everything is ideal.
Mm-hmm.
It's sacred. You have to protect it, but it does not change the realities. With or
Yeah.
without divorce,
Agree.
it does not change the realities.
Yeah.
And so, if you really care about
mm-mm.
the sanctity of marriage,
Mhm.
you delve deeper sa mga realities at experiences ng
Yes.
couples.
Yeah.
Kasi hindi siya ideal most a lot
Yeah.
at a lot of times.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. No, and again, how does the legalization of divorce reflect the changing societal norms? No, I think it signals our shift. No,
Yeah.
from viewing institutions like marriages and family. There's now a shift. No, because we used to view those institutions as monoliths. No,
Mhm.
unchanging.
Mhm.
Kumbaga, ang pananaw natin dyan, yung marriages of the 60s, families of the 60s, are still the families today,
Right.
which, of course, is far from the truth. So I think that signals a shift in our perspective na we now understand these institutions to be more fluid,
Right. Yeah.
to be ever-changing. No?
Mhm.
That's why we're adopting this law, kung mapasa man siya, this bill pala, no, to respond to the realities on the ground. So I think it signals that shift, no, na yung marriage and family hindi pala siya solid structures na unchanging.
Hindi siya perfect.
Yes,
Hindi siya
yes. There's a
perfect.
recognition of the inherent imperfections,
Perfection.
not only of marriages, but of course of the people comprising those marriages.
Yes,
Hindi perfect si
exactly.
husband, hindi perfect si wife.
Right.
Mhm.
So may recognition na ng ganon. Unlike before na talagang hindi, perfect si padre de pamilya. Hindi mo
Panindigan mo.
panindigan,
Mm.
pinasok mo yan, panindigan mo yan, wala nang way out. At least
Yeah.
ngayon, may recognition na of that.
Right.
But I think to address Attorney Lane's point kanina, and I think our point din naman,
Mhm.
there is also a danger if we will be viewing these institutions as too fluid.
Yeah.
Kasi pag masyadong, sabi natin ni Lane kanina, no, na talagang one of the keys to a successful marriage is bago kayo pumasok doon, mag-discuss kayo as if there's no way out.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Pero if we view marriage as too fluid, pwede ka naman lumabas next week, no? There's a danger in that. So I think, no, it's good that we're starting to view marriage and family as fluid, pero sooner rather than later, collectively as Filipinos, we will have to slam the brakes on this kasi baka magiging masyadong fluid. At
Balance
least good
talaga.
signal siya.
Yeah. And Attorney Renz, yung current way out ngayon, especially yung Article 36, which is psychological incapacity, it still has juridical antecedent. So, as a requirement,
Yeah.
as an element. So, basically, yung ibig sabihin nun, you can just get out of this marriage if this flaw was already present before.
Yeah.
So, it does not understand or it does not take into consideration the fact na what if the person you married changed?
Yeah.
Yes.
People change.
Right? Yeah. Okay, he's psychologically capacitated to be a spouse when
At
you
the
got
time,
married.
Change.
Diba? Hindi siya nananakit.
Yeah.
He's faithful.
Perfect husband or wife
Yeah.
sa simula.
Yeah. But what
Nagbago siya.
happened? If like a few years down the road, nagbago na siya.
I think, tama naman, may empathy na ngayon.
That's right.
There's room for empathy na sa batas natin. No?
Yes.
It accounts for those things.
And diba there's only two things permanent in this world? Taxation
Ayun.
and
change.
change. Right.
I think yun yung maganda. It accounts for change.
ang ganda na
Parang more human, right?
Yeah. More human talaga siya. Yeah. I think we should approach with prudence, but also with compassion.
Yes.
I agree.
Okay. Ang ganda ang deep at saka ang profound ng analysis na yun. So, thank you, attorneys, and thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in with us. Attorney Nikki, Attorney Gonzalo, and Attorney Rance, napaka-profound ng topic natin ngayon at napaka-timely. So, sana may natutunan kayo, kung may mga komento kayo, feel free to write them down below. And yes, let's wait for the final bill.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then,
Any developments?
any developments, any improvements, at saka maybe we can discuss it again to really inform our viewers kung ano na nga ba yung final form at saka final grounds ng divorce bill or divorce act na ito. Because we don't know, we might be in for some surprises.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, okay. So, once again, everyone, thank you so much for joining us here at BGC. Once again, I'm your host, Attorney Lane, and this has been another episode of Radio Respi Show. Bye.
Bye.
Radio
Respi Show!